this point, I've just committed to posting an update every 2 months, so that's just what I'm gonna do, and I'm not gonna pretend that I'm gonna update in a month, because it's never gonna happen. I don't know why. But to be fair, this was intentional because there were so many items that were almost done and they were so close that I just wanted to wait a little longer. I'll just wait till I finish this one. I'll just wait till I finish this one. Next thing you know, now it's 2 months because I wanted it to be more satisfying, and it just took 2 months to finish almost everything. I'm so close on one of them. I'm just gonna go through all of the empties that I have, starting with the one I used at first, which is by no means a surprise. It is the Essence Keep Me Covered Concealer. I believe this is their lightest shade, but I had the stopper pulled out. I think I used it 2.5 more times after that. I should have just waited to update, because this thing was so easy to pan, it wasn't even funny. There is so little product in here, like 3.5 mils or 0.11 fluid ounces. Usually concealers are double this, but this is also a really sheer, light coverage, watery concealer. So it's easier to use up. If it was like a really thick, high coverage, like pinpoint concealer, it would have probably taken forever, but no, it was one that like, it basically was a skin tint. It looked really skin-like, really nice. Still a little dry actually, surprisingly. It has aloe vera in it, so I don't know why. Maybe that's just my skin needing help. But I would not purchase this again. $5, not even worth it for how quickly I went through it. I think it was like a full month of using it and it was done, and that's just ridiculous. So I don't need to buy that again, and I won't miss it, but it was kind of satisfying to pan it that fast. I'm not gonna lie, sometimes I like makeup products that like should not take that quickly to use up, but do, because just a little bit of a morale booster on a project pan, even if it's like, well, that was a waste of money. So there's always pros and cons, guys. But the next one that I used up, I believe, was the CoverGirl Clean Powder in the shade Creamy Beige. I was using this as a face bronzer because it was a little bit too dark to be a face powder on me. It was a very subtle bronzer, but I liked it because I could use a lot of it, blend it out, and it would never look bad because it was just a little bit darker than my skin tone. So I kind of like the foolproof nature of that. If I were to buy something like this again, I would do something like a shade darker, shade or two darker, so that it wouldn't be quite as difficult for it to show up. Honestly, I'm kind of forgetting which ones I used up in which order, but I'm just gonna go to the product I think I used up next, which I put into this little container. You can see there's some remnants of it. It is the Ciate London Velvet Skin Cream Blush in the shade Fancy, a very nice kind of neutral, cool toned rosy blush. And I used a good amount of it in here, but it was getting way too difficult to get out of the package without it kind of just shooting out because there wasn't much left, that it was pretty inconsistent in how it came out. So I squirted everything else in this container and then I just used it up that way. And I did really enjoy it, I'm not gonna lie. I had this decluttered to me from a friend because she has a little bit of a warmer undertone, so she just didn't wear it that much. I don't even know if they sell this anymore or not, but I did like it. The last empty is the Seraphine Botanicals Rose and Strobe Rose Gold Primer. This was also decluttered to me from my friend because she just had a bunch of makeup that she didn't really use, and I was like, I'll just try it, have fun, why not? So yeah, I cut it open, scraped everything out. It had slightly a rosy tint to it, but it was just kind of a shimmery, hydrating primer. It was fine. I know my skin's dry, so it didn't hurt, but I don't feel like it changed my makeup so much that I'm like, oh my god, I need something to replace this. So yeah, I'm just glad I used it up. Future Anna here. I don't know how, but I completely forgot about one of the products that I finished. It wasn't in the baggie that I put all the other empties. Sorry, he's insisting on staying in my lap. It wasn't with the other items because I forgot that it was in my purse. So the last item that I finished was the Buxom lip gloss in the shade Dolly. This was the sample size I got as a birthday gift from Ulta last year, but I took the stopper out and I got all the product that I could reach out of it. There's like a tiny bit at the bottom, but by and large, this thing is entirely empty. Really pretty, shiny, shimmery pink color. It has a very good lasting power for lip gloss. The caveat is it's gonna be a little heavy, a little sticky feeling. It's gonna feel like a lip gloss and you're gonna feel it all day. And it has a slight menthol-y feeling to it. It's probably because it's marketed as a plumping lip gloss. I think whatever is in it, you can feel and smell its presence, and after a while throughout the day when I'd reapply it, by the time I got off of work, I was ready to just like wipe whatever was remaining off my lips because I didn't like the film that it left once the lip gloss faded away. And it was just that sticky, thick residue with a little bit of that menthol feel just staying. And as pretty and long lasting as it was, I don't think I'd repurchase it because of that. I prefer more of a lip oil, a thinner feeling, even though you have to reapply it more. It's just more comfortable for me, so I find that it's worth it even though I might use it up faster. Honestly, I don't care about using things up faster because I'm trying to pan them anyway. What's funny is this was the most recent use up item, so I don't know how it didn't cross my mind until I was completely done filming, but yeah. So the only item I didn't use up is this Elizabeth Arden lip liner, and I don't remember what the color is because all the words have been sharpened away. This thing is as tall as the cap. I don't know, I sharpened it today and I was like, maybe it'll sharpen and it'll just fall out because there's like nothing underneath it and it's so short. No, it's still kicking. This will be done by next time. I don't know, some pencil products, there'll be no product way higher than this. It'll just end. And some of them, I guess, go down all the way to the bottom of the pencil, which is better for your money, but not for panning. I am wearing it today with a like warm pink lip gloss on top. It is pretty, it's a good lip liner. I just really wanted to finish it up by the end of the month, and it's just being a little stubborn. I even wore it as a blush the other day. So I was like, I thought I was closer than I was. So I was like, let me just like scribble it on my brush and use it as a blush. It was pretty actually, it was pretty. But I am already painting another thing as a blush. So I'm not gonna do that because I'm so close, so close. This will be done, okay? The lid is cracking. I don't know how old it is. It's gonna be done. So I used it 4 items, still panning 1, but I wanna introduce the new things that I want to pan that I'm incorporating into my daily routine. I guess I'll just go in order of application, but I am rolling in another primer. Once again, my friend decluttered it to me. It is a Grown Alchemist Biological Beauty Anti-Pollution Primer. No idea what that means. I don't know what an anti-pollution primer means, but it's a pretty like silicone-y, thick pore smoothing. This is how much I am starting with. I started it with being almost brand new, but I've been using it for the past week or so. So I've just been rolling it down every time it gets emptier and emptier. That way we can track it easy that way. So the next thing that I'd apply is this e.l.f. bronzer and contour, the Camo liquid one in the shade Fair Light. Now, don't judge the way it looks. It still works. It's just that my boy, my dog, he got to it one day and he chewed it off so that the outer lid part just fell off, and this is like the inner lid. That's another reason why I want to use it up, because it's like a tiny hole and I don't want it to like dry things up over time. It seems normal right now, but I don't know. So I've been using this. It is very full. I don't think I can finish it by the end of the year in all honesty, but I would just like to get in the habit of using it every day so that I can have a chance of using it up next year. But it's a nice kind of rosy neutral toned bronzer. It doesn't look orange on me, and most bronzers do. So yeah, I like it. I don't know, I'm just getting used to liquid bronzer. It's not something I've ever really done. So I don't think it's as easy as powder. I've been putting on primer and then liquid bronzer and then liquid blush and then my concealer. That way I'm able to control the chaos with the concealer afterwards to kind of carve things out if I go a little too overboard. Also, to help me look more like my actual skin tone and not just like the color of a bronzer on my face. And maybe that's just because I put too much on, but it's not as foolproof as my last one, let's just say that. So yeah, it's been working for me that way, so that's what I've been doing. But the next item is not a liquid blush, but I've been using it that way. It is the ColourPop Blotted Lip in the shade Still an Icon. It is probably like a neutral brownie rose color. It leans a little warm on me, but I think it works all right on my skin tone. I'm gonna try to scrape things away, but there's a decent amount of windowing when I kind of swirl this around to remove it from just being stuck to the sides. So I feel like I must have used, oh my, it actually is decently empty in there. There was a phase where I wore this a lot on my lips. I like it on my lips, but it's a little bit dry feeling. So I prefer it as a blush because I just like really moisturizing stuff on my lips. It's just the case. So it's also a little bit more brown than I usually want on my lips. So I've been enjoying this as a liquid blush. I would love to use it up by the end of the year. That's the goal for all of these, except this is not, that's not gonna happen. So I'm not gonna put the pressure on me because I'll end up being disappointed. But this one, I think there's a chance. I think there's a lot less than I realized. I think this will be easier to use up as a blush than an actual blush. It's also the oldest lip product in my collection, aside from this one. Speaking of this lip liner, since this will be done very soon, I want to show you what I'll be using after I use it up. And that is the e.l.f. Mauve Aside lip liner. It is almost brand new. I've used it a handful of times, but not a ton because I was focused on using up that really old one. So very long, almost the length of my hand. It is much warmer in undertone. I guess I could swatch things. I swatched all the items for you, but this is the bronzer contour. You see it blends out to be nice and light, easy to blend out. And this lip product blends out even more because it's that blotted lip style. It's meant to be very blendy and sheer, so it works really well as a blush in that regard so that I don't go overboard. And then the lip liner I'm almost done with is this really pink one, and then you can see the one I'm rolling in is much more of a warm brownish tone, so it's not my favorite color on me, and that's one of the reasons why I want to use it up. It's also the next oldest lip liner that I have. I only really like this if I put something really cool and rosy on top. Otherwise, it just looks too orangey brown on my undertone. So yeah, I just want to get some use out of this and focus on this. I don't think I can finish it by the end of the year, but we'll see how far I can get. Sorry, I'm pretty sure the camera shifted because I whacked the table when I got up to wash my hands. Sorry about that. The next item is another e.l.f. item. It's the e.l.f. Hydrating Camo Concealer in the shade Fair Warm. This one is pretty full. I've been using it pretty consistently for the past couple months, but unlike the Essence one, it has a good amount of product. I'd say double the amount and probably double the amount of coverage. So it doesn't go as quickly, really isn't any windowing, a ton of product deposits on the wand. This I can definitely finish by the end of the year, but it's just it's gonna take a good amount of time of consistent use. Ooh, wow, I actually caught that. Sometimes I am coordinated, sometimes, but I used to really love this concealer. This is like the fifth, sixth, I don't even know how many I've gone through. Something about it doesn't sit as well on my face anymore. I'm just not in love with it anymore, so I'm kind of ready to just move on. Try something new, try something hopefully better. And the last item, you guessed it, is also e.l.f. It is the e.l.f. Halo Glow Setting Powder. Let me shake it to show where I'm at. I'll have to, oh gosh, that's horrible lighting. How are you gonna see that? It is really hard to tell, but you can, if you look close, you can see that it's halfway done, just about. There's like a tiny bit up here, but it's all settling right at the halfway mark. So it seems like I have half to go. I have not really used powder consistently in like a year. I just stopped using it because I stopped feeling like I needed it. And I don't even know. I bought another powder. I've been buying a lot of different things because I want to figure out what I want to wear on my wedding day, which is coming up sooner and sooner. So I've been buying different things and trying different things. So now I have more items in certain categories than I would want. So that's been a motivation for me to pan in between testing things out and like to just get other items out. So this is, I'd say, a very natural skin-like finish. It doesn't really mattify unless something's really oily. It'll make it, you know, not as oily. But I wouldn't really recommend it for someone with oily skin. It just kind of makes your face look kind of glowy, not super matte, somewhere in between. I don't know. I have no attachment to it. So I just kind of want to use it up. I haven't been using powder in general, especially this has not been making me want to use powder. So I just had this sitting in there, and then I bought another powder. And I was like, I'm never wearing powder, just use this up. So now I'm gonna incorporate powder in my everyday. I think it'll be good, especially in the summer, to powder things down. It should probably help considering how horribly hot it is. It's over 100 degrees outside right now. So as soon as you step outside, you're already sweating. So powder is probably gonna help a little bit. So I would love to use this up by the end of the year. I don't know how quickly I use up powder because I haven't been using it. So I don't really have a reference for that. I don't know if I can finish it up by the end of the year, but I'll try to use it just about every day I wear makeup, and we'll see where that takes us. The last item I don't have with me at the moment because it's in my work apron, but it is a Burt's Bees tinted lip balm. I think the color I have is Red Dahlia, but I will insert a picture once I'm back at work where it is at. I'm pretty sure I've used up somewhere between a fourth and a third of the product. It was the lip product I had in my purse for about half a year, just as a emergency, like, oh, my lips are looking a little, you know, dry or colorless or lifeless or whatever. That one is just what I have in my work apron pocket to reapply on days that I come to work wearing lip products. I do not bring lip liners to work with me because if I do, I will lose the lip liner, and that's what I've learned. So I only apply lip liner in the morning and never again, and that's why they take me forever to use up. So I have that tinted lip balm to just add and deposit a little more color and shine throughout the day when my initial lip product fades. So yeah, that is everything that I will be using in the next 6 months. I mean, if there's anything that I use up sooner than that, I might roll something new in. I'll see how I feel, but hopefully it'll be successful. I'm feeling pretty hopeful, feeling pretty good about the items I chose. They seem like they'll be very easy for me to just keep in my regular routine, not have to think about it, just apply it. I will update you by the end of August because clearly the monthly thing isn't happening. So I will see you then. Hopefully I'll make some progress. Thank you so much for watching. I hope that you enjoyed, and I hope that you have an amazing day. Bye.